In the heart of the Karamoja Plains, where the sun kissed the earth and the winds whispered ancient stories, two creatures ruled the vast sky. But they did not share it peacefully. The sky was contested by two mighty beings, Katura, the snake who moved silently through the grasses, and Manjaita, the bird who soared above, her wings cutting through the wind like a melody. Katura was no ordinary snake. With scales that shimmered like polished stones and eyes that glowed like embers in the dark, he believed he was the ruler of the earth. He moved through the plains with a grace that no other creature could match. He slithered across the land, weaving through the grass and the rocks, carving his path through the earth, touching every corner of the plains. But as the days passed, Katura grew restless. His pride grew with every twist and turn of the earth. He longed for something more. And soon, he found himself staring up at the sky with longing. If only I could be up there, he thought to himself, I would rule both the land and the sky. None could challenge me then. High above, perched upon the branches of the tallest acacia tree, Manjaita, the bird, watched the world below. Her feathers sparkled like the morning sun, and her songs filled the air with a melody that brought joy to every corner of the plains. Manjaita had always been the one who could touch the heavens. She knew the winds, the clouds, and the stars by name. When the sun set, she was the one who guided the travelers through the darkened night. But as Manjaita sang, her sharp eyes caught sight of Katura slithering below. He was staring up at her as if he could claim the sky. Manjaita laughed lightly to herself. He thinks he could rule the sky, but the sky is mine, and it always will be. It wasn't long before their paths crossed. Katura raised his head and spoke to Manjaita, his voice smooth and proud. Bird, he said, you rule the sky, but what good is the sky if you cannot touch the earth? I have seen the land, and I have touched every corner of it. The earth is mine, but the sky, it could be mine too. Manjaita tilted her head, the wind rustling through her feathers. Or Katura, if you think the sky can be claimed, you are mistaken. The sky does not belong to any one creature. It belongs to the wind, to the stars, to the clouds. You are welcome to try it, but you will find that the sky is far more vast than the earth below. Katura's eyes narrowed. I challenge you, Manjaita. Let us see who is truly the ruler of the sky. I will race you to the highest mountain in the plains. We will see who reaches the peak first. And so, the challenge was set. The sky above the Karamoja Plains held its breath as the two creatures prepared for a race that would decide who truly ruled the skies. The animals gathered around the foot of the mountain. The lion, the antelope, and the gazelle all watched in silence, curious to see what would unfold. The race would be no ordinary race. Manjaita would soar high on the winds, while Katura would use the hidden paths below. At the start of the race, Katura hissed, his long body coiling in preparation. He would use the earth to his advantage. With a flick of his tail, he slithered forward, winding his way through the tall grass, heading toward the foot of the mountain. Manjaita, on the other hand, flapped her wings and rose into the air, a brilliant streak of color against the blue sky. She soared upwards, her wings cutting through the wind, her heart full of confidence. Katura moved swiftly through the earth. He knew the land like no other, and every twist and turn of the mountain path was familiar to him. He slithered around rocks, through cracks in the earth, and beneath the low-hanging branches of trees. He moved quickly, but silently. Meanwhile, Manjaita soared high above, her wings spreading wide. The winds carried her swiftly, lifting her higher and higher into the sky. But as she flew, she saw the landscape stretch below. The land seemed endless, and the mountain seemed much farther away than she had anticipated. Halfway up the mountain, Katura reached a steep cliff. But his sharp eyes saw a hidden path through the rocks. With a hiss, he slithered upward, finding his way where no one else could go. The path was narrow, winding, and treacherous, but it was the quickest route. But above him, Manjaita had reached the same point. The wind, once her friend, now began to grow fierce, making it harder for her to soar. The gusts fought against her, then her wings beat against the heavy air. She struggled to maintain her altitude, her once confident flight becoming more laborious. As the race continued, Katura's path was steady and sure. He moved through the cracks in the earth, hidden from the view of the birds in the sky. Meanwhile, Manjaita battled the elements above, trying to find a way to rise above the shifting winds. As both competitors neared the peak, they looked up to see the other nearing the top. The mountain was so close, but so far. The race was too close to call. Finally, when they both reached the peak, Katura and Manjaita met, each with their own weary look. The sun was beginning to set, painting the sky in colors of gold and purple. The winds had calmed, and the earth was still. "I told you, bud," Katura panted, his long body coiled at the peak. "The sky is no match for the earth. I have conquered the mountain. It is mine." Manjaita was exhausted, but she looked at the sky with a calm smile. "You have indeed conquered the land, Katura, but you forget that the sky is far more than the wind and the clouds. It is vast, it is free, and it is not meant to be claimed by any one creature." And so they sat together, watching the sun set over the plains. Katura looked at Manjaita, and for the first time, he saw the sky with her eyes. "I have been foolish," Katura admitted. "I thought I could claim everything. But I see now that the earth is mine and the sky is yours. Together, we can rule the plains, but only if we share." Manjaita nodded, her feathers fluttering gently in the cool evening breeze. "We are different, you and I, Katura. The sky belongs to me, and the earth belongs to you. But neither can exist without the other. Without the earth, I could not soar. Without the sky, you would have no place to go." From that day forward, Katura and Manjaita shared the plains in peace. The sky belonged to Manjaita, the bird who soared high above, and the earth belonged to Katura, the snake who moved with wisdom beneath the ground. And every evening, as the sun set over the Karamoja Plains, they would sit together, watching the sky and the earth below, knowing that their strengths complemented each other, and that together, they brought harmony to the land. And so, the story of Katura and Manjaita teaches us that no one creature can rule everything. True strength lies in recognizing our differences, respecting our roles, and working together to maintain balance. For the earth and sky are connected, and we must care for both.